Welcome to this explainer. Have you ever wondered what an examiner is actually thinking when they're looking at your paper? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a GCSE maths exam. We're going to break down step by step how to lock in every single mark on a question. It's all about learning to play the game.
So let's get right into it. How can you make absolutely sure you get full marks on a classic trigonometry question? You know, the answer isn't just about getting that final number right at the end. The real key, the thing that changes everything, is understanding the examiner's own playbook, the official mark scheme.
Okay, let's jump in with a 2-mark challenge. We're looking at question 8 from a Pearson Edexcel higher tier paper, and we're going straight to the source to see exactly how these 2 little marks are actually given out.
And there it is. This is the official mark scheme, direct from Pearson. This is the exact guide the examiner has right next to them when they're marking your work. Think of it as our roadmap to figuring out how every single point for this question is awarded. So first up is the super important method mark. You'll see it written as M1. This is the first thing you want to aim for. And getting this mark has literally nothing to do with your final answer. It's all about proving you know the right steps to take. Check this out. This is the exact wording from the mark scheme itself. It says M1 for a correct statement for AB using trigonometry. This sentence right here, this is your golden ticket. Just writing down this equation or the rearranged version of it proves to the examiner that you know what you're doing and that first mark is yours. So how do you even get to that statement? Well, it's a pretty simple 3-step process, right? You identify your sides, opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. Then you use good old SOHCAHTOA to pick the right ratio. And finally, you just pop in the numbers from the question to build your equation. The key thing is that your working has to show this thought process, ending with that correct statement to bag that M1 mark.
All right, let's move on to the second mark, the A1. This is the accuracy mark. Once you've shown your method is solid, this mark is all about getting the number right. But, you know, it's a little more interesting than you might think.
Again, let's look at the official wording. The mark scheme says A1 for answer in the range 14.28 to 14.3. Now that word range is so important. It tells us that the examiner isn't just hunting for one single perfect number. There's actually a whole window of correct answers.
So as you see here, the range is from 14.28 to 14.3, and it's inclusive. That means 14.28 gets the mark, 14.3 gets the mark, and anything in between, like 14.29, also gets the mark. It just gives a little bit of a buffer, for tiny differences in how people round their numbers.
But here's the best bit, and it's hidden in the additional guidance section. It says you can still get full marks if your working shows a correct answer from that range, even if you mess up the final rounding on the answer line. So let's say your working shows 14.29, but then you have a brain freeze and write 14.2, you can still get the A1 mark. And that right there is why showing your working is completely non-negotiable. It's your safety net.
So let's just make this crystal clear. What gets you that A1 mark? An answer of 14.28, 14.29, or 14.3 on the answer line. Or, and this is the big one, seeing a value of 14.28 or higher in your working out, even if you make a little slip up when you round it. It just shows how much flexibility the examiners really have.
Okay, so we've broken down the M1 for method and the A1 for accuracy. So what does a perfect 2-mark answer actually look like on the page? Here it is, in all its glory. That very first line, tan 62 equals AB over 7.6, bam, that immediately gets you the M1. Then, showing the full number from your calculator, that long 14.294, that's just fantastic exam technique. And finally, popping the correctly rounded answer, 14.3 on the answer line, that secures your A1. It's simple, it's clear, and that's 2 marks in the bag. All right, we've gone pretty deep on this one question, so after all that, what's the one thing, the most important lesson you should be taking away from this for your exams? It's this. A correct method is just as important as a correct answer. You have got to always, and I mean always, show your working. Like we saw, getting that M1 statement can get you half the marks, and showing your unrounded answer can totally save you from a silly rounding mistake. Those method marks are your insurance policy, and they can make a huge difference to your final grade. So what's the secret to unlocking full marks? Show the examiner how you got there.